Good evening, guys, and happy Monday to all of your sunshiny faces. The last about like 2 hours is the best that I have felt all day today. Today I have felt so insanely like crummy just because of my ears. Like I still have that horrible pressure in my ears from this cold that I've had, and today it was mainly isolated to my right ear. Like the last 2 days at least, it's been in both ears where it sort of feels like there's just like a really bad pressure in my ears. Like, you know, that feeling of like being on an elevator or in the car with the windows like down, like, you know, at a like one window down and the other one's like all closed, so you have the really weird car cabin pressure sort of thing. Like that's what it feels like. The problem is normally like you chew gum to get your ears to pop sort of thing, but the thing is that they will not pop. Like, so today it seemed like though, like yesterday was doing it a little bit. Today it seemed like it was isolated just to my right ear and it was popping a lot, but there was still like this massive like pressure in my ears. And then on top of that too, my eyes felt like they were under a lot of pressure as well. And specifically my right eye seemed like it was watering up a lot. And I still am like somewhat congested, like my nose and stuff like that. I'm still a little stuffed up, like a little bit, but the weird thing is that like I'm stuffed up, but like I can still breathe perfectly fine. Like it's not like you know, when you're sick and you can't even breathe through your nose. One of the nights, because my nose was so stuffed up, I was sleeping and I woke up and found out that I was sleeping with my mouth open because I could not breathe through my nose. Like it's not like that. Like I have no problem with like, you know, breathing through my nose. So I'm like, I know I'm not that stuffed up. I'm not that congested. But for some reason my ears are just under this insane amount of pressure. And it seems like I said today, it was really more my right ear. And my mom was asking me like, oh, do you think you need to go to the doctor? Like, do you think it's an ear infection? And I was like, it's not painful. It's just annoying. It is so annoying because like I know it's from the cold, and like I said, I know because I've had so many ear infections, especially again since I was like little. I know how painful an ear infection is, and I know, like I said, you know, like what that is. And this is not pain. It's just an uncomfortable like annoyance more than anything. Like I said, and just sort of like that pressure. It's not that it is painful, but it's just an annoyance. And so like I said, I can't get away from it though, and I can't get it to go away. And like laying down today was not helping at all. In fact, I almost wonder if laying down, because once I was actually up more, it seemed like, I don't know, I don't want to say it was helping better, but like I was just like laying down watching TV and it didn't seem to make that much of a difference. And so like I said, I don't know. And it wasn't like, oh, if I lay more on this side, or like, oh, if I lay on that side, like nothing was helping. And again too, it's just for me, it's like when I have that like uncomfortable, or if something is painful, like I just cannot get away from it. Like I can't figure something out. Like again, I will get like a neck ache, which was the other thing too though. So I was also getting a really bad headache and a neck ache today on top of that too, which I don't know if the neck ache had anything to do with my head pressure. I think that I was getting sort of like almost like a sinus headache or something like that too, because behind my eyes were like hurting and I felt like I was getting like a headache. But my neck, I feel like just because I woke myself up a couple times while I was sleeping, I think that it was because I was trying to get comfortable because of my ears. I think I was just laying really weird, and so that's why like a couple times, like I said, that I woke myself up. I was laying really weird, and I think that was because my ears were so uncomfortable, and so I think that was why. And so I think that was causing my neck to bother me. So finally at one point I was just like, you know what, this is annoying. I tried to early this morning when I first woke up, when I noticed it, I tried to take like a decongestant because I was like, oh, you know, that's probably what it is. Like, you know, again, I know that I'm still stuffed up. I know that again my ears and my face sort of feels again like a little stuffed up, and like sinuses and stuff like that. And I knew because my eyes felt a little swollen, and so not like swollen, but just sort of like, I don't know, uncomfortable too. Like I could tell I had like some type of sinus pressure. So I was like, okay, I will take a decongestant. That did absolutely nothing. It was no help to me at all. So then finally by the afternoon, once I started getting like the headache, I was like, that's it. I need to just take like a Tylenol, or I actually ended up taking ibuprofen. And that all of a sudden, everything seemed like it pretty much went away. My ear still does sound like stuffed up a little bit. Like it sounds like there's like, it's muffled a little too, and like there's a little pressure sort of. But nothing like it's been almost all day today. And it's still popping, which I guess is the good thing. And like I said too, it is nothing like it's been before. But I just, like, I got sick last year. I think I was telling you guys. It was funny because it was the exact same time last year. I actually think it was the 5th football game of the season, just like it was this year. Like, because it was during football season that I remember going out to the game and just feeling really crummy. But, you know, I actually, again, because I got sick literally last week on Monday, I was pretty much feeling much better by Friday. I was still a little, like, stuffed up and everything like that. But again, it's been over the entire weekend, and I feel, like I said, it's just sort of more just in my face right now. Everything else I feel literally fine about. And I still don't even really have that much of a cough or anything like that. It's just sort of been in my face. And so, again, you know, I was hoping that within a week I would be feeling better. And although, like I said, I do, it's just this weird pressure sort of still in my face. And like I said, I've been trying to take like a decongestant. It doesn't seem like it's really helping. And so again, though, randomly the ibuprofen was helping. I got sick very similarly, it felt like last year at the exact same time. It just felt like to me, like, you know, once all of my other symptoms were gone, like, it was pretty much like, just like, I had no residual anything in my face. And this time though, I do. And the only time that that ended up happening to me before was a long time ago when I had strep throat. I think I told you guys this was when I was coaching youth football at Jack's level. And so I was, I think, only like 3 years out of high school. So that was, like I said, several years ago now. But I remember I got really, really sick with strep throat, and it was so bad that I lost my voice. I never ended up with an ear infection, but it was sort of the same thing. The pressure in my face was so bad that finally, once my ears actually started hurting, was when I ended up going to, I think I ended up going to the doctor, because I was like, and this was maybe only like day 3 into not feeling good, or 4 or something like that. It was still very early on. And so, like, you know, but it had lasted, like, you know, actually for a while, even with taking like the antibiotics and stuff like that. That still ended up, like, whatever I got then was bad. But I remember that, like I said, it was just by the time when my ears finally started hurting, I was like, okay, you know, have to go to the doctor because I'm pretty sure I have an ear infection. And I was like, if it's just like, you know, a cold or flu or something like that, I was like, it's okay, I don't need to. I'll probably wind up just getting over it. But the ear infection part was the part that I thought was going to be really bad. So I ended up going to the doctor only for them to tell me that I wasn't actually sick with an ear infection, and that it was just the pressure from my face. My eyes, though, I remember they were so bloodshot because of how much, and that's what the doctor told me too. She was like, it's because of how pressurized your face is right now. And she's like, I see, like, you know, stuff in your ears, but it's not an ear infection. She's like, you just have like a lot of fluid and pressure in your face. And so I think, I don't remember what she ended up giving me, but because again too, I was so stuffed up, and my nose too was just like nothing, like I was just so stuffed up that she ended up giving me like a nasal spray, I think too, or something like that, to also help with that. So I'm like, I don't know if I should take the nasal spray because my nose doesn't feel stuffed up at all, and I don't want that to wind up irritating me more when it's not actually the problem. And like I said too, the decongestant didn't help, but surprisingly just regular old ibuprofen actually helps insanely. So and like I said too, like my eyes then weren't hurting anymore. I didn't really feel like there's a little bit of pressure, like I said, like around here, but it's just the one ear today was the absolute worst. But I feel like that's hopefully because, again, maybe everything is moving around and, like, you know, hopefully depressurizing. But that's why today, like, you know, and everything, like I said, I feel it like it's popping. But again, today was just a very crummy day, and it was only the last couple hours that I was like, wow, I actually feel good. And like, I'm like, I want to get up and do things, because I made dinner for tonight, but that was a complete pain. And so I was just like whining and complaining about not feeling good today either. And it's funny too, because while I was actually sick with, like I said, you know, a couple days ago when I was actually like really, really sick and, you know, physically felt like I couldn't do anything. Now I physically feel like I'm fine. My head is literally just still like, it feels like a balloon, like, but the weird thing is that it still doesn't feel even like that bad. Like, I can still feel like it's just like a little bit, but my ears are bothering me to the point where it's like, I feel like I should feel worse, but I don't. It's just my ears, and that's the thing that's just, it's bothered me so bad today. And like I said too, I was just like, I can't do anything, because then on top of that too, I just felt really, really like not dizzy, but just very like my balance just felt really, really off too. But because of my ears, I just felt like my balance has been really off today. And so like I didn't want to like be up and like going around doing things, but I was like, I really should, and like I should be able to too, because again, I've been out for pretty much an entire week not being able to do a whole ton because I haven't felt good, and now that I'm finally actually feeling better, and it's still just in my head, like I don't know if it's just moved into being just like a head cold thing. And like I said too, I don't know what else like medicine wise to take, because it just seems like it's, you know, like a decongestant sort of thing would wind up working, because that's what it is. I'm congested, but like it literally did absolutely nothing. And I think it has like acetaminophen in it too, so I was like, how come it's funny like the ibuprofen that's more for like, you know, pain as well winds up actually helping and relieving like my headache and stuff like that, but then also too like the pressure, I don't know why that would work, but and then the actual decongestant like didn't help at all. So like I said, surprisingly though, that was actually, I felt much better after I took that. And now I'm like, oh, I'm good to go and, you know, like go and do things. Now I'm like, well, actually it's time to go and take a shower. So like I said, I didn't end up getting to too much today. I didn't edit or upload or anything like that. I didn't even do dishes or laundry. I did wind up making dinner for tonight, but that was, I wanted to make shrimp scampi, but I ended up changing it to just chicken parmesan, because I felt like that would be just a slight bit easier, because I didn't have to really like wash the shrimp and stand there and, you know, do all this stuff. So I was like, I'll just make that, and that way I can have some of the pasta too. And so that's what I ended up doing. But again, I didn't end up really getting to anything else today. I also too like I didn't want to sit around all day either and just watch TV, but like I said too, because I just felt like my balance was off sort of too. And so like I said, it's not like I'm dizzy, but just, you know, like I don't know, just off. And so I just was like, you know what, forget it, I'll sit in bed and watch TV. And then I started getting bored too. I was like, I don't even want to watch TV, I want to go and do something. I'm tired of laying in bed, especially too because like I said, when I was actually sick, that's all I was doing, like almost. And so now I'm like, I just want to get up and go and do actual things. Like I've been wanting to fill up the bird feeders, because now that it's fall, you know, like the birds are looking for food and we've got none in the feeders right now. So I want to go and fill those up, but I can't go and do that right now because like I said, I just felt like the worst that I felt in days. And so like I said, I am hoping that this will finally like be over with. But it was weird because like I woke up with it, so like I don't know, like whereas yesterday, I think I told you guys, it wasn't until I got back from the grocery store that it started bothering me. But I woke up this morning with it, so I was like, so it doesn't have anything to do with like if I'm laying down or if I'm standing up for a really long time. Like it literally, I don't think has much to do with that at all, because laying down actually sort of seemed to be just as bothersome almost as sitting up and doing things. The whole balance problem was the reason I didn't want to be up doing things either. So oh goodness, guys, like I said, now though I'm like, I feel almost completely fine. Like I said, I just feel like I've got a little like head cold sort of thing right now, but much less congested, at least I feel that way. But I don't know, guys. I'm just really frustrated, and I wish that this would just like go away, or like I said too, I could just magically, you know, take a, you know, some type of decongestant and it would work, and it didn't seem like it did. And that's the thing too, is that because I'm not in any pain too, I'm like, I don't feel like going to the doctor, especially because I know that this is the end of it too. It's like, if it was again last week, I might have been like, yeah, maybe I will. And so since it's the end of it, it's like I don't want to go to the doctor just for them to possibly tell me to just take a decongestant, because that's kind of again at the point where I'm at. And if I'm like, oh, I'll go to the doctor tomorrow, and then wind up again it being not even being bad, and I made an appointment and stuff like that, and I actually feel fine tomorrow, and I don't have any, like I said, like pressure or anything like that, then that would also be really dumb, because every day I'm like, oh well, it should be better, it should be better. And like I said too, now that I can actually like hear it popping a lot more, I'm like, that definitely is a good sign. But because I remember too, like I said, when I was sick that one time really bad, it was, I couldn't hear out of my ears for like a good 3, 4, 5 days or something like that. It was like a really long time, and I remember when it finally popped, I was in the shower and I was like, oh my gosh, I can hear again. Like, but I can still hear, it still feels okay, it just sounds like a slight bit muffled. So like I said, I know like what the absolute worst of like getting something like this is, and this is definitely not it. So that's why I'm like, this really is not like that bad, and not something that I can again just treat with apparently just an ibuprofen is okay, because that's what seemed to help today. But like I said, it just stinks because physically is the part where, like I said, I still feel fine. I remember though when I got sick before with that, like I said, that like strep throat and everything else where I lost my voice and stuff like that too, I had the absolute worst cough ever. I could not go 2 or 3 words into a sentence without like coughing hysterically. Like, it was really bad. But like I said, like I don't have a cough at all with this, like hardly at all. Every once in a while I have a little bit, but it's like I said, nothing at all compared to that. So like I said, I know when I'm comparing that, I'm like, that's the absolute worst that I've ever felt, probably at least in my adult years too. And then compared to this, I'm like, this is pretty much nothing. And like I said too, I thought that it was going to be like pretty much the thing I got last year, where again it was less than a week and I was pretty much fine, and it's pretty much is the same thing. It's just I've got a weird, like I said, congestion still in my head that's not going away, and not going away fast enough for me, I guess is the thing, is because again, I'd expect that now that I feel like physically okay, you know, like I said, I don't feel tired or anything like that, and I don't again have any other types of real symptoms, a cough, a stuffy nose, runny nose, you know, like I said, anything like that, a sore throat or anything, that I'm like, oh, I should be fine now. But it's just again like my ears were bothering me absolutely the most. But anyways guys, like I said, I'm hoping that again maybe we should be close to being over with all of this. It depends. And also too, it might have been because maybe I was laying more on like one side or the other, which is why one ear seems to be bothering me more than the other one. So like I said, and maybe that's why, and it took me so long today to finally get rid of it on the one side, because again, maybe I was laying like this way, and so it was all not like, you know, helping it come out. So that's why this one's not bothering me and this one is, because maybe everything is moving around. I don't know. Anyways guys, I'm gonna take a shower and get to bed. Maybe the same thing will happen the last time when I was sick and I took a shower, and then it just like all of a sudden was like, oh my gosh, I can hear everything again. That'd be really nice. But I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.